Hello, everyone. This is FaZe Zox here, and I thought today, why not, let's make a video about BlizzCon and what I think about all the spicy-ass stuff we had at BlizzCon. So, first I'm going to go into Battle for Azeroth and all the news about the live game as seen by the Battle for Azeroth cinematic being shown. So, let's get right into it. So pretty much, let's first talk about the opening ceremony. It was honestly pretty disappointing. You had first a bunch of talk about 8.1, all information we already knew, that they actually announced in like a big announcement before BlizzCon. That was very disappointing. And then we got the cinematic, Lost Honor, which was a really cool cinematic, and it's really cool to see they're doing more of those style cinematics instead of just only using game models for their cinematics and doing more of those like pretty much complete CGI cinematics, which look really cool. And I found that was pretty amazing, but other than that, it was overall pretty disappointing, and I left it really longing for more. And they actually did deliver. Now let's talk about the What's Next panel. They went into, once again, a bunch of 8.1 info at the start. I was very disappointed and angry because I didn't buy the virtual ticket, so I couldn't watch it, but that's besides the point. But in terms of their What's Next panel, it was actually pretty good. I liked it a lot, even. They went into 8.1.5 stuff, which wasn't really anything that cool. But then they went into 8.2, and wow, Nazjatar. Nazjatar looks pretty goddamn cool. I'm not gonna lie, it's like a big crack in the ocean with the zone at the bottom with tons of like taking content from like Timeless Isle, Broken Shore, all those zones, endgame zones, and that looks amazing, honestly. I couldn't be more happy. You know, I like Ajara, I like the old gods, all that stuff. So yeah, that looked really cool. They announced Mechagon and the Junker Gnomes, which looks amazing. That was a huge surprise, and very cool that they're gonna have another zone other than just the one Nazjatar zone. I guess that's kind of compensating for not having Suramar, but overall, that was really cool. And the Mega Dungeon, that looks really cool. Worgen and Goblin models, that was a huge surprise, yet I'm very, very happy with that. New Heritage Armor expected. No new allied races, but I guess they're just saving that for a future surprise. But overall, the What's Next panel definitely restored my faith a bit and restored my hype a bit more. However, in the end, it still wasn't like that crazy. There was no mic drop moment. I think a mic drop moment, like after that, Naya Lofa or whatever, would have been really cool. Now, on to the Q&A. There really wasn't that much stuff. Chris Metzen went up there, and they pretty much straight up kind of like light confirmed that, or joked that, hey, Sylvanas isn't going to be War Chief for much longer. And as much as it's a joke, I think we should still take that with like a little bit of seriousness, where, hey, maybe they are onto they're onto something. But other than that, I mean, you have the fact that pretty much Sylvanas is worse than Garrosh now. You would see her. It's mainly big story developments. They also very good info about Azerite. Oh yeah, Heroic Warfronts. I forgot to mention that, but very good info about Azerite and the way how they're working towards fixing it. And overall, I think the Battle for Azeroth at BlizzCon shows that they're listening. They're working towards fixing the expansion and making it better. They made a mistake with launch, but they're gonna fix it. But overall, it was pretty decent. It wasn't the best from, it was probably one of the better parts of BlizzCon, though, honestly. But that makes sense since like Diablo Immortal. Now on to Classic. Now, Classic. This was a very big BlizzCon for Classic. We got a lot more info. Last BlizzCon we got the announcement, but not very many details. So let's get right into it. So opening ceremony. Very, very good info. So it's coming out in summer of 2019. That's much sooner than I expected. I thought 2020 earliest. But summer of 2019 is very nearby, and I'll be able to play it this summer, which is great. And then the next greatest info ever is that it's going to be available with the normal WoW subscription, so I don't have to pay a cent to play it, which is even better because it saves me money, and it's great. It's also going to bring more people paying the WoW subscription, which means that the subs numbers are going to go up a lot, which is great. So Now on to the demo. The demo actually had a good bit of controversy with sharding and the tradable loot. The tradable loot, I hope they remove it, but it's not a deal breaker for me in terms of sharding. I think as much as as much as many people are against it, I don't think it's as big of a deal as people make it because it's kind of necessary. Because well, Classic is going to get a lot of players, and I mean a lot of players at launch, especially like retail players, and it's going to have many servers with if they don't have sharding, and these servers, lots of these people are going to leave, and these servers are all going to die out. Either that, or you can have sharding, and then that's not for like the first week or two, and it doesn't damage the game at all really, and it's fine. I don't mind sharding at all. So as much as it caused controversy, which is definitely a negative, I don't think that's that bad. At the panel, let's go to the panel. They kind of did clarify that a bit. You know, it's not going to be on for too long. But a big thing for me, at least, at the panel, is that we're going to get an actual release cycle, like seasons for Classic, which is big for me because that's like the one thing that I needed, like to confirm. Yeah, I'm definitely playing Classic because I like a progressive experience where I can jump into Classic at launch and then slowly more content comes out for me to play and I can progress, you know. But if they didn't do that, it would all be cleared away too quickly, and that would really lower my chances of me playing. But with progressive content release, I have no doubt that I'm going to play Classic. So overall, I think even though there's a bit of controversy to the really diehards fans, I think that overall Classic is looking pretty good, and I think this was a very good BlizzCon for Classic. On to the Warcraft 3 Reforged. Now, the big boy, Warcraft 3 Reforged. Now this is absolutely huge. This, I can only really talk about the opening ceremony, because I wasn't at BlizzCon to play it, but this is huge. This is, like, by far, I think, the best part of BlizzCon, because Warcraft 3 is a very good game. Everything about it is just really good. It's very fun to play. The story was absolutely fantastic. The music was great. And when I bought it, like, I didn't play Warcraft 3 in 1999. I wasn't born in 1999. But I bought the game like last year, and I played it, and I loved it. It's just such a timelessly good game. The only thing that's kind of behind about it is the graphics, and even those are not bad. But now it's getting remastered, so it's gonna look amazing. And that's just so cool that Warcraft 3 is getting a remaster. I'm totally gonna buy it. But overall, that's huge. And that's really cool and big for the Warcraft franchise, that people, a lot of especially new players, are going to be able to see all this great old lore about the Lich King and shit. So yeah, overall, that's probably the best thing in terms of Warcraft at BlizzCon. And I absolutely love that announcement. That is really cool. So yeah, now I will give the closing statement on BlizzCon for WoW. How good was BlizzCon for Warcraft? It was pretty good. It wasn't the worst. It was not even close to the best. But it was alright. I enjoyed it. I liked the announcements. However, I'm left not feeling that much more hyped than I was before, which means, in a way, it kind of failed. At least in terms of basic WoW. But I'm definitely more hyped for Classic. I'm definitely very hyped for the Warcraft Reforged. But overall, I'm not that much more hyped for BFA. But still, very cool. BlizzCon for WoW, as Warcraft as it always is. So yeah, that's my verdict. Thanks for watching the video, and I'll see you in one of my streams.